Hello everyone and welcome back to the 135th episode of PandTha Talks. That sounded weird, so.
I think you tried to say 134th and then realized
Yeah,
that's what it
yeah.
sounded.
Weird.
Hello.
We're both in a bit of a weird mood today. Not quite sure what's going on, but it is what it is.
People say the full moon affects autistics.
Oh, is that what?
I'm covered. I don't know what your excuse is.
I'm me. I'm just me. I don't need an excuse. I just am how I am. We have 2 topics this week. Sounds like very little. The moment we start covering the first topic, you'll understand why there's only 2. Let's just say I got exactly what I wished for from the new year. Ironically, though, it dropped just before the new year, and it was the day after the episode actually dropped from last week.
Goated.
Which I found amazing, to be honest with you. But yeah, basically we have a ton of news that has come out about Beta Decay. So we'll be covering a lot of that today. And CD Projekt Red have decided to apparently sell GOG, the storefront. So we'll also be discussing that briefly, what's going on there, and see what happens and what impact that could possibly cause for the industry. Because GOG, in my opinion, I know a few others agree, but I don't know if it's the main opinion overall. But it's one of the better storefronts. I'd say it competes well with Steam on DRM related issues, but it cannot compete, obviously, compared with discount and also in regards to the amount that they can offer. But it does what it needs to do and it does it well. That's what a lot of people were saying back in the Epic versus Steam days. It was very much a case of, well, if you want to compete with Steam, you've got to do what you want to do right, rather than just buying games and making them exclusive. Fuck you, Epic Games. Anyway, now that I've just quickly gone over that a little bit, let's move on to some actual footage, and we can show some of this shit that's gone on. So why I've got the press kit open, I'm not 100% certain. There's not really too much information here. All I can really show is what we briefly discussed on last time of what there's going to be within the game, which is megapolis, massive structures, corporate housing, all that sort of shit. Nova Atmosphere, high-tech, low-tech, cybernetic enhancements and nanotechnology have become a commodity amongst population. Player-driven star system and economy. Construction and starships. I've heard they're possibly going to make it so that we can actually make our own ships as well, which I like the sound of. Roguelike, Alpha Centauri, and territory systems, all of which I am massively up for. As people probably know, there has been quite a lot of photos that have also been uploaded, which I
quite like roguelike games. I like the idea of going in, being a measly little peasant, and then upgrading outside of the dungeon or whatever it is you're doing, and going back in and slowly progressing. It adds a bit more like linear progression to the game rather than just walking through a level.
Definitely. No, I'm definitely
especially when you get that sweet satisfaction of finally beating a level because you got that one upgrade you needed.
100%. So 5 days ago, they uploaded onto their Patreon, which you can join for free, which is what I've done on the PandTha Talks one here. This is a public view, and just to show you how long this actually is.
Yeah.
This is how much we have to discuss. There is a lot that they've done. On top of that, they also released a public roadmap on features that they are actually working on, which so happy about. So, table of contents.
Here we go.
So, versioning. We'll start off here because I think it's actually a really good point to touch on. Pre-alpha, throughout 2025 and prior, Beta Decay has been denoted as a pre-alpha state. The priorities during this time were to establish the foundations of movement, combat, animations, basic life systems, and a core understanding of what future technologies would be leveraged. Alpha. Currently, Beta Decay is in an alpha state. The amount of core systems are expanding and have been set up to act as a platform to build off. And then we've got beta. Early access will signify the transition of Beta Decay to public beta state. So they only plan to bring this game out to be playable when it's in a beta state. Which reminds me of the good old Minecraft days.
I mean, at least they're not going to just release a buggy mess.
There's a lot in here that's actually to do with things he's learned and the team have learned during their development progress. So they're actually about to touch on these little bits where they've learnt brand new things from scratch, like modeling, texturing, animation, and audio. There's loads, honestly. I have more faith in this than I do Ubisoft to release a polished game.
I mean, when was the last time that happened?
Yeah, that's kind of my point, yeah. Personal development goals for 2025. Several personal development goals have been maintained through 2025. I have a deep understanding of development technologies and their capabilities, Unreal core systems, and performance-related capabilities and techniques. Several development tools have been leveraged for the 5 to 10 plus years. Apparently that's how long they've actually been working on this. Unreal and its related plugins remain the newest and will continue to be an ongoing learning process. Establish and maintain concrete process and workflow. For example, modeling, texturing, animation, and audio. As my own personal skills improve in each area, I do not anticipate significant changes to my current workflow, which is a good thing. This means I am able to stick to a comfortable process that allows content to be produced more quickly with less friction. Build systems to scale. For example, destruction, ECS, and MCVs. Each system of scale requires time and dedication and cannot be half-assed. They must be approached strategically with longevity and expansion in mind. This is a logical way to think about game development and how your systems are going to be built up. I have a lot of respect for constantly thinking, okay, yeah, I'm making it like this, but how can this be built upon in the future? And that's what you need to do. So, a roadmap was dropped.
The long list of objectives.
Yes. So apparently the way he's built this roadmap is there are feature expectations for early access and there's a feature expectation list for full release. And he will be updating this as he goes. So it's split into two categories. You got the early access features and then you've got the throughout and post early access. The roadmap has feature cards and it will tell you the completion percentage, the status, and the feature. It will also say that some might be to be announced. So, just to give an understanding before we actually look at this, TBA, obviously, that's unknown at the moment, but the feature will be displayed once the new 2026 trailer is published. So, we will have more information on this down the line. Throughout this year, actually. 10 to 25%, successful prototype. Indicates the feature has already been developed in some shape or form. More importantly, the technical approach already exists on how to achieve developing the feature. Therefore, less time should be spent on research and development. Work in progress, 25 to 75%. The feature is currently in development. Ready for testing, 75 to 99%. The feature has been completed at its core but still requires some polishing and additional testing before public access. And 100% ready for early access. So I'm now going to pull up this roadmap and you can see the features that we have in this list so far. Ready for early access is 2 complete, ready for testing 20, work in progress 21. Now it might sound like a lot. If I go into here, the dev tracker and the alphabet for the game have been 100% completed. The core of the game is apparently ready for testing. The multiplayer hosting and joining with network synchronization is also ready for testing. Development console, ready for testing. Asset models, ready for testing. Controllers, the same. Music players, weather systems, character customization, FPS and third-person perspective with seamless, fluid transitioning between the two. No separate models or animations. Locomotion, cover, cloth overwear, dismemberment, ECS system, yeah. A core game system that allows game objects, entities to be interactable, picked up, inspected, and carried, each with their own set of unique statistics such as durability, quantities, and serial numbers. Inspect and carry, furnishing, injury, artillery, bullet drop, destruction.
Lovely injury system.
But the
It's
fact
gonna
that
be like of where you need to carry 10 different items to live when you lose it when a limb gets fucked up.
I'd imagine it's probably going to be more a situation of just carry fucking bandage or morphine.
It's so much effort. I see like because obviously I watch Posty a lot, and sometimes he'll be playing Tarkov, and I'll see a clip of it or something where he gets fucked up in a gunfight, and he's sitting there using this item, using that item, doing that item, and doing this item, and he's
Yeah.
got like 10 different items in his inventory for fucking many. It's like, holy dude.
Honestly, give me like one item that does everything I need it to do. I'm happy. I can manage at 2. The moment you go above 2, I start getting annoyed.
It just becomes so much work.
Yeah, but that right there, all these features are apparently ready for testing. I do like the sound of artillery. I also like the fact that the destruction is ready for testing. Destruction at a scale of buildings on the top side of strata by nature of the ECS system, all entities can be destroyed.
We love that.
I thought you'd be happy to hear that news.
You would be, man.
So, this is what is currently being worked on. Terminals. Physical terminals with in-game UI screens that support a variety of applications such as stock trading, fabrication, and allegiance formation. Centauri Exchange, a stock exchange containing a minimum of 50 tradable companies, where share price is determined by the calculation of fundamental values. Weapons. At initial release, the weapons will include 2 SMGs, 5 rifles, 2 pistols, 1 sniper rifle, 1 anti-tank rifle, 1 RPG, 1 shotgun, HE grenades, claymores, anti-tank mines, and throwing knives. That's an early access release.
That's pretty nice.
Yeah, that's a pretty good selection. I will give it to them.
That's one thing. So, obviously, I play a ton of Rust, and that's one
Yeah.
thing that's always complained about. And it's the same in any other game. I'm sure it's happening in the likes of Arc Raiders as well, being with it going up. Is there's either a very limited selection of guns, especially when you get to end game, or there's just always a meta. Like there's no point to use another gun because you're just gonna get slammed by this other gun every time, or like 90% of the time, and you're putting yourself at a disadvantage not using that gun. I think that's always an issue in shooting games, whether it's PvE or PvP.
Yeah.
PvE you get away a little bit more with using different weapons, but there's still that meta, and there's just not enough variety.
Yeah. To be honest, I'd be very interested to see how the guns feel, how they work. Is there going to be a situation where each one's got its strengths and each one's got its weaknesses, and due to that, they'll be stronger in certain situations than others? It's going to be a case of wait and see, I think, but I'll be very interested to see how the actual gunplay is. Weapon mods. Static attachments to weapons that include 2 suppressors, 3 scopes, 3 bipods, 1 foregrip, and straps. Weapon mods are not customizable real time. That's a bit sad.
Yeah, but it kind of makes sense. You know, you're
It
not
does.
meant to be this fucking guy who can just fucking disassemble a gun and reassemble it.
No, you're a shitty grunt worker that's becoming stronger over time. Industrial exosuit. One of 2 bio-powered exosuits, an industrial strength suit that enables characters to carry large or heavy cargo beyond their normal capacity. Save and load your character and world data during online and offline play. Stats/conditions. Character stats that promote roleplay and survival elements, such as health, stamina, bioenergy, restroom, hygiene, hunger, and thirst. Usual shit for that sort of thing. Injuries and illness. That sounds like it's going to be annoying. Just give me a doctor that I can go to, and that'll fuck.
As long as it's not a pain to deal with it, because I like there needs to be things that debuff you, especially if you don't take care of them or if you leave them for too long. I
Yeah,
just don't like when you have to go and find a corner and sit there for 10 minutes going,
yeah. If I can go to a doctor and he can cure me, and I'll just pay like 100, 1,000 credits or whatever,
just
I'm
X
happy.
currency, whatever.
Yeah, I'm happy with that. An inventory system that physically stores objects on the character's body. This includes cargo containers, equipment, ammo, magazines, and weaponry.
It's going to be cool, but
Yeah,
interesting to see.
it'll be interesting. Yeah, exactly. It'll be interesting to see how
I feel
they.
like there's a reason you don't really see that. The only game we've ever seen that in, really, I feel like, is Death Stranding.
Yeah, I'd also argue any VR game.
Well, yeah, but I wouldn't class VR in the same sort of topic
No,
as
no,
this. That's on its own level there. You kind of have to do that
true.
because unless you have the Walking Dead sort of system where it's in the backpack.
Yeah. So combat core. Core weapon and combat mechanics that includes visual effects, ADS, lowering slash holstering, weapons, grenades, and ragdolling.
Oh, you love Ragdoll.
Actionable equipment. Wearable for eyes, shoulders, and pocket wear that can be used or activated. This includes NVG slash IR slash magnification goggles, shoulder lamps, Geiger counter, ECS scanner, medical scanner, resource scanner, flares, and glow sticks. Fuck me. I feel like all I'm doing is listing. Life support and PPE.
Inventory, man.
Yeah, I know. I need to. Right. Equipable items and outfits that help sustain life, prevent disease, and protect against hazardous material, each with their own graded quality denoted as Mark 1, Mark 2, and Mark 3. This includes consumables, food and water, masks, outfits, hazmat, life support apparatus, LSA. Okay, it's SYNI. Linking body and technology, the biosynaptic interface, CINI, displays character statistics in world space via UI, such as stamina, thirst, and overall well-being. Two variants, Mark 1 and Mark 2, exist. So that means you could end up with more or less on your HUD dependent.
As long as it's not an overcrowded HUD like we're seeing in certain games recently,
Yeah,
really.
I mean, if you get a Mark 1 and it's got less, if you get a Mark 2 and it's got more, and if I get rid of both of them and I've got no HUD, I think I'll be pretty happy either way. Let me choose. Phenomenon spread across the game world that includes viruses, entanglement traps, solar flares, creatures, and
I'm sorry.
adversaries.
We can just play a game.
Yeah, you know what? I'll get infected with the virus and then just run into the city and just start hugging everyone. B-23
You
helicopter.
get wounded and just like bleed out with the virus, and then just run through the town, just
Yeah.
spewing your blood all over everyone.
It sounds like a good time all around. A V-23 helicopter that can be mounted and
you
used.
know what it just reminded me of?
Go on.
It was, I don't know if it was like World of Warcraft or RuneScape or what, but there was like a bug that happened that like someone ended up permanently
World of
taking, like there
Warcraft.
was an effect. Yeah, you would cause you take damage, and it stayed with them, and it just went around affecting the entire game.
Yep.
Like, oh
Yeah,
man,
it was
imagine something like
mental,
that happening. It'd be so funny.
It was insane. So yeah, a V-23 helicopter that can be mounted and used as quick transport across the strata. Unfortunately, non-pilotable.
Does it have at least massive fucking side guns or something?
I hope
You just sit there
so.
on a minigun, and as you're like transitioning from one location to another, you just sit there just gunning down whatever you see.
I really hope so. But just to lift you up a bit there, Will. So, pilotable mechanized combat vehicles. You know the giant mechs with machine guns and anti-tank cannons?
Like
Yeah.
Titanfall.
Yeah, exactly. That includes 3 torso types with 4 mountable weapons. In addition, usage of countermeasures and UI systems that can be controlled via manual buttons and switches.
Very important question.
Shoot.
Can I just slap on all of the weapon types? Just be a giant walking machine of death.
I would love that, but I feel like your mech just would not fucking walk more than 2 steps.
It would get released from its station that they're building it, it would just immediately fall over all that weight.
It would.
I mean, I'm actually, I've got the thing open, their page open, and I've seen a couple of mechs. There's one where they've just got, Matrix style, where they've just got 2 giant fucking guns as arms. And then I've seen another one where they've got a massive artillery on
Oh, yeah.
their shoulder.
Got to be done. Got to have a massive anti-material rifle attached to your fucking shoulder.
Absolutely, dude.
Because
You fucking shoot that thing and launch yourself into battle at the same time.
So,
I'm not joking. If not longer than the length of the neck from head to toe.
I've seen the necks. They're so... I actually really like the look of them.
Oh, man.
Oh, I can't... I'm not sure where it'd be.
There's a mech there.
Yeah, that's also
Yeah, look
got
at
a
this
massive gun
fucking
on the side.
enormous fucking cannon.
Yeah, like, it just looks so much fun, that. So, next, world locations. Environmental design of a limited scoped play area that includes the planet's topside strata. This is to be expanded upon in future versions. So basically, for the early access, they're just prioritizing getting a place that people can play. It won't be the full map that they will eventually plan to release. Which, I think that's to be expected. You're not expecting the full
Making
access.
a map, especially the scale they're looking to do, is a hell of a job, man.
Because they are expecting, from what I remember reading prior to this, it's multiple planets within one solar system. So there's going to be a lot to it. And considering he's making all these locations by hand, you got to give it to him. To say he's 50% there, that's impressive by itself. Usage of... Oh yeah, fabrication's the next one. Usage of large machinery that produces entities such as weapons, equipment, and deployable structures. The fabricator allows the input raw materials that are required to produce entities, game objects. Allegiances... 3 primary allegiances with relationship tracking between them. In addition, the ability to create your own custom allegiance, assign a badge, and recruit subordinates via terminal application. I like that we can make our own.
I mean, it seems like they've got a lot of different customization stuff in this.
Oh yeah, a ton. It really does feel like the perfect mixture between the role players side of things and the crave we have of just mass murder and genocide.
Absolutely.
So I'm up for that. AI Core, a basic first iteration of enemy and friendly AI that roam the topside strata. AI from conflicting allegiances react to one another either in a hostile or friendly manner. Very basic, but to be expected, especially when they're just starting out. Roles and contracts. A contract terminal with dynamically generated contracts that enable first iteration roles, including elimination, transport, and repair. To be expected, pretty basics, but it's starting out.
We can at least get paid for our assassinations.
Yeah, exactly. Finally, estates. Ownership of venues that may function as places for residents or businesses. So we can set up our own business. Wait, so does that mean you and me could set up a business on an online session to become hitmen?
It seems like it, yeah.
That sounds fun. So, those were just so that the game can get to beta. And just remember, all of these here, these 7 things, are to be announced in this year's trailer. And there could be more added to this as time goes on.
There probably will be.
Oh, most likely. Then after this... These are features to get it to 1.0 that he wants to do. So some of these are successful prototypes and some of these are enhancements upon what he's currently got. More outfits, more weapons. I think both of those are understandable. More contracts, same there. Metropolis, an underground city that contains a variety of districts where the majority of civilization resides. Holograms.
So that's all just enhancement stuff, by the way. Everything after this is now what they want for.
Oh yeah.
To like new features.
Holograms that advertise and provide detail into elements of game lore. I'm fine with that. AI carrying, ability to carry characters who are wounded to be rescued.
So one of us two gets slapped in the face by a missile, and now it's the other one's job to pick them up and extract them.
Sounds like something we
do. We forgot my leg, Rory.
Combat exosuit, the second biopowered one used for combat situations, adds significant protection against small arms fire. Melee system, execute punches, kicks, and takedowns and blocks against other characters. Vehicles. Drivable vans. You can what, sorry?
You could just set up a fight club.
Pretty much, yeah. Drivable vans, trucks, tanks, and forklifts that allow for movement of large cargo containers. I think this one is expected after what I just read. But tanks. Crewable tanks that
Yes.
function similarly to MCVs with manual levers and switches allow multiple seats between driver, commander, gunner/loader, and passenger.
Surely they have a 50 cal on top.
I'd imagine so, yeah. Spaceship construction. Ability to weld together ECS structures and components and propel them into orbit. See, that doesn't sound like spaceships to me. That sounds like I can stick a jet underneath a chair, get Will to sit on it, and send him to space. There's
That
a
would be a
difference.
good pick.
Space travel. Travel through space aboard a custom-built spaceship. Walk aboard your ship during flight with your cargo and crew with localized gravity and atmospheric systems. You know, if we ever managed to successfully build a ship and get into space, we would crash it when we try and land.
That's all. This whole spaceship job is for Sunbit. He loves
Oh,
that
yeah.
kind of shit. He'll sort us out.
Cool, we'll just get him to do the
While
building.
you and I are a few miles over getting fucking slaughtered by some bugs.
Oh, yeah.
He's just going to be there with fucking just
Pretty much,
building
yeah.
away, slamming the hammer around.
Zero gravity locomotion and custom directional gravity to work with the current movement locomotion system. Planetary terrain, non-procedural, fully scale planet that can be traversed globally. Non-procedural means what you'd expect. He's making by hand. I have nothing but respect for that. That is a lot of hard work.
It's going to take a long time as well.
Yeah, I mean, even look at Ubisoft maps.
It's really good because the amount of detail that you'll see, the things that won't get overlooked, like the amount of gaps you would find in other games, just in worlds, even just small little terrain gaps that don't affect any. You'll hopefully see like minimal amounts of those, and just so many little details that you just wouldn't even notice or think about, and you just come across and be like,
yeah. You know, though, that everything that's placed is there for a reason. And the other thing is, while it might look the same at the beginning of when you first start the game for the first time, in your first save that's like offline or whatever, you could go online to another session to play with some other people. And because that world's different to your own, different areas will be destroyed by AI or by yourself. Different buildings will no longer be there. There'll be rubble all over different locations. Certain people will be dead. So it's never going to be the same, even though it's the same starting location. And I can imagine if he ever adds mod support, can you imagine the amount of maps and stuff that could be added to this? The amount of things that could be done. It'd be insane. Yeah. Asteroid belts as obstacles in space. I think that's expected.
I mean, at least it means that when you are going from one planet to another, it's not just going to be a case of you're waiting to get there.
Yeah.
You know, shit can actually happen on your way.
Implants. Boosters powered by bioenergy that enhance character capabilities when activated. I guess those would be a little like skills to an extent.
Yeah.
AI physical trade. Ability to physically trade objects with AI characters. This allows items to be placed in the world in exchange for physical currency between AI. In multiplayer, this functionality will already exist for player-to-player trades, thanks to physics-based inventory system. And finally, the OST and album art. But that's the roadmap only. So just remember, we're only at 0.8.
And it was what, 50?
Yeah, there's 50. So, yeah. Once targeted features for early access are fully developed and gone through proper testing, a decision will be made whether to proceed into early access. Therefore, the date for early access is a moving target. Please keep in mind that any dates that have been previously communicated are estimates and have always been subject to change. That's expected. So the trailer for this year. Several of the roadmap's features will be showcased in the upcoming trailer with a mix of cinematic scenes. There are several features that are still being developed that I plan to showcase, so it will take some time to get everything wrapped up into a presentable video. The estimated release date for the trailer is highly dependent on the progress of several roadmap features. It is very likely that the trailer will be released as the new version is available for the next round of playtesting/early access. I didn't even know they had playtesting and early access. I might end up putting some money into this Patreon to see if I can get access to some playtesting or early access. I'd probably have to be quiet about it, but
Yeah.
I'd be pretty happy with that. The Beta Decay store has turned so that people can buy some items. It's a pretty basic shop, he says so himself. Homepage updates, we've kind of seen. I mean, bloody hell, well done, dude. Beta Decay database, functions similar to knowledge base, just allows people to gain some access. They won an IndieDB award.
Hey.
They were nominated as IndieDB's top 100 upcoming indie games.
I think they're saying they got it in 24 as well.
Even better. Continued development. Here we go. Now this is where we get to some bits that I know you're going to be happy about.
Yes.
So, destruction system continued. In previous devlogs, I mentioned that the destruction system is one of the primary features I look forward to most in the game's development. So apart from the more tedious tasks, I'm always eager to get back to this one. Therefore, I am pleased to say there has been some major achievements. Performance. While undergoing stress testing for the construction system, a constant 60 FPS has been averaged with the following parameters. Around 500 buildings with roughly 700 individual components such as walls, floors, and windows. Benchmarks have occurred in editor. This means performance is likely to be greater on compiled builds. That's kind of impressive. I have to give them that. Networking. Destruction is working over multiplayer. Network synchronization across client and server. I got to see a kaboom, I'm happy. Building components such as walls and floors will be removed and synced across the server and clients. Currently, the majority of a building can be destroyed, but not entirely. The core of buildings stay in place primarily to maintain a ruined/destroyed city aesthetic from warfare. Full building destruction may be introduced later on in development. That's fair. To be honest, I like the idea of having the core of the building remaining, unless like you use a certain tool and then you can get rid of it or something.
It'd be look a bit better than just a pile of rubble.
Yeah, but I think it should be up to the person, realistically. Some people want to get rid of it. Some people will want to keep the core of the building there that's been destroyed. It's up to the person, I suppose, on that one. So it'd be interesting to see. Next steps. The destruction system still has much work to be done. This includes further stress testing, network new clients synchronization testing, enhanced particles and visual effects. Understandable, because the visual effects aren't the greatest for that. To be fair, I just noticed how much of that went and disappeared.
Yeah.
Oh. I'll give him a moment. Oh, that. Welcome back. Yeah, like so much of that building just is gone.
Gone.
I do like that I can see everything though just get absolutely fucked up, and then you can still see it slowly moving out in
All the
each
bits of
direction.
debris just flying all over the place.
I've got to give it to him. Actually, it looked pretty crap the first time I saw it, but as I've like gone back through bit by bit, that actually is pretty good as things go. I've seen some good destruction physics over the year, but none that's trying to be as much as what this is attempting to be. So I get that. Prone system continued. Added clothing audio effect for prone movement motions for the new system. Going into prone, getting up, crawling, diving, and camera shake effects. Dust effects upon diving into prone position. Inventory network continued. Carrying, equipping, inspecting, and equipping items to inventory is fully networked. Majority of time was spent here on networking bug fixes. Injured system continued. Upper and lower body appropriately displayed color code for injury status. Uncolored/default, and rest of character limbs working appropriately. Fix bugs around color coding. Hey Will, if it's this easy, you and me are not going to have any issues. Blue part, not injured.
Fully red.
Body part, injured, red. Like, if it's that, it's going to be literally a case of bandage that, inject some morphine, and better. I'm fine with
Imagine you freaking blow yourself, like I say, blow you up with a grenade and you just turn fully red.
that. Yeah.
It's just like, I don't know if there's any healing in that, dude.
Yeah, I don't think you can fix this.
Have some morphine and some like God for you.
Significant new models, textures, and materials continued. 3 new metal fence models, new metro/train track models, migration of train overpass model, another new telephone/wire pole, farmhouse made of metal sheets and wood.
Just
3
adding
new,
a lot of variety then.
yeah, 3 new large dumpsters, 3 bridged roads and overpass models with tunnels, large canal structures, new pallet of bags of tarp, hazmat outfit Mark III, hazmat hood Mark III, extra large electrical transmission tower, new large tree model. I'm highlighting this one as tree foliage is finally hitting the style I've been looking for, as I've struggled to nail it for a while now. Which is steady mix of sprite-based branches with thicker, solid mesh core. It's likely that several of the old tree models will be scrapped rather than redone moving forwards. Makes sense. Old model migration and improved texture, train beds, train overpass, and wooden training walls from the legacy training facility. Weather system continued. Added more variations of thunder audio when raining. During rainstorms, added sprite material effects for water pouring from wall ledges. Remember guys, this is an indie game, and yet they're looking at features like that most AAA can't do.
Yeah, you get this terrible static grainy rain and that's about it.
Fixed several bugs where the weather kept repeating/looping itself, causing hiccups in the audio and performance issues. Centauri Exchange fixed critical bugs where buy and sell market transactions were not syncing. Holograms continued. Created 5 new visual display models for the hologram. Holograms now have their own channels with different audio/visual themes. No audio tracks to play with the hologram. Also note at the end of the devlog. Right, we're at 24. Oh, right, here we go. Change management. You'll find that some technologies may have changed or altered in some way. This is part of the development process and a change to be expected. A good example of this is the old voxel tech, voxel tech and the destruction system. In early prototypes, voxels were primarily used to construct buildings and full cities, cube by cube. This was extremely fun and was very quick and efficient to develop full-scale cities. However, after actually playing and feeling the character within the game world, the environment and overall experience simply didn't align with the intended vision. You'll find that destruction as a feature still remains, but it's no longer based on voxel tech. There are still plans to leverage voxels for planetary terrain with the goal of terraforming. Now that's interesting. The fact that he started with voxels and decided, okay, this is okay, but it doesn't quite fit what I want it to be. So I'm going to modify this system, keep what I want from it, but implement another system for that, and then I might use it again somewhere else. Good. That's the logical way to look at things.
He's not just scrapping it either and thinking, no, I'm not going to use that again.
Yeah, exactly. So, just to take a quick break from 25 here, you'll have realised that there's been this little trailer up here. There's a reason. This is one of said holograms, I do believe.
Turn your attention inside. You feel it exists and feel the
How it started out.
like entangled to the flock, holistic, moving with extraordinary complexity. Turn your attention inside.
For a hologram, not bad.
As the outer and inner worlds join together, we observe the collapse. Wave out.
But obviously, there's a bit more than just that.
Things are not
Was that, yeah, what's that there where you're just hovering over? A little further? Right there.
This looks like gameplay.
Yeah.
Let me just, yeah. So, first off, oh, okay. I forget, a lot of this is just his choice. Okay, here we go. Let's watch some some footage, shall we? I do like the fluid third to first person transition, I must admit. Is it bad I'm having to watch this on my OBS?
Peace.
Genuinely, it's clearer on my OBS. It's not as dark. Oh god, now I'm blind. Oh no, it went black. Got you. Dick. I mean, I am happy that we got to see that. That was a pretty cool thing. A new trailer is in production. Yeah, we know that. That's an artillery gun, Will.
Yep.
But I want to hear it shoot. That's all I want. I also found it very interesting that he actually made his own in-game language from scratch.
Yeah.
Okay, so new developments. We know about some bits, but not everything. So he's made magnification goggles and rangefinders. Probably a good thing considering he's set up bullet drop for snipers. Best of luck to snipers.
And bullet drop's easy to work on.
Oh yeah. Thankfully with a rangefinder it'll definitely make it a bit easier, but I reckon some people still have a bit of a whinge and a moan. But then it's not going to be their sort of game, is it? So rangefinders, by now you might have realised I've spent a lot of time about being a marksman or reconnaissance equipment and featuring bullet drop and scope sighting. All of this opens up gameplay opportunities for sniper/spotter combinations, recon and analysis, and hunting. That's an interesting spotting scope.
Yeah.
I suppose if you do have a dedicated spotter, it's alright.
Great, so I'm gonna have to lug that piece of crap around with me then.
Why do you think you've got to carry that around with you?
I'll take the sniper if you want.
I mean, knowing us, we'll probably fucking swap and switch between us.
One of us will get shot in the face, and I'll just pick up the sniper and then go back at it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Their red friend rolls around next to them.
Exactly. ECS entity has been created for the goggles. Since the eyewear, they may be toggled on and kept on at all times. Usually the UI is smaller and more crisp. Colours have been saturated. A few other tweaks have been made to the UI layout. Overall, a big improvement visually and gameplay wise. Okay. Backpack Mark IV, extra large backpack. Currently, there are 4 backpacks: small, medium, large, extra large. Yep. Industrial work light, deployable. Can be carried and deployed just as any other entity. Dynamic hanging wires. Yeah, I noticed those.
Yeah.
Affected by wind and weather. I also noticed when he walked into it, it hit it and moved it a bit.
I really like when things have physics and bits of cloth or the wire just have to like brush off you and will like run over your shoulder and fall off after you walk past them. I really like stuff like that. It just adds a different kind of detail.
I'm with you, but I am terrified for the first time you ever play this game. I've got this really bad feeling I'm just going to log in, you're going to be stood next to me like, yes, I'm in, and just start running up against all the walls and suddenly get shot in the head.
Well, you'll very quickly get to see what the red parts look like.
Yeah, very quickly. And then
that's what an injury looks like. Meanwhile, I'm dead on the floor. More than an injury.
Yeah, just stand. Deployable tent. Okay. So, yeah, there's going to be deployable options moving forward. They want to create a variety of different sizes of tent. Fair enough. Phenomenon. Entanglement trap. Migration. Amongst viruses. I know. And other phenomenon exists an entanglement trap. This phenomenon type plays its part critically in the game universe and lore. Science has attempted to study and understand the phenomenon and its rare occurrence in the universe, visually described as a black sphere with an endless depth that emits massive amounts of energy. Migration from the legacy build, this also includes audio, animations, water material, particle systems, static meshes, and logic. During migration, added additional particle systems for the player when entering the entanglement trap. So we can enter these traps. That sounds dangerous. I'm up for it. Character enhancements. Ragdoll camera state.
Yes.
When entering Ragdoll, when in third person, the camera now has its own dedicated camera mode for Ragdoll. This has been created to help prevent camera clipping through the ground and awkward, hard to see camera positions on death. You'll get to see a enjoyable Ragdoll without it clipping through the ground anymore.
I know it's going to be great. I can't wait to get blown up. You
can no longer lean/switch camera sides in Ragdoll mode. Logical. Dynamic distance checks for weapon wall rotation. We can stick weapons on walls, okay. Added dynamic detection logic for when a character lowers their oh no, fair enough. When lowers their weapon close to a wall, which is now based on weapon type. Shorter length pistols and submachine guns have a short detection range. Basically, will you lower the gun instead of putting it through the wall like you do in every other game out there? New outfits and clothing, 4 new balaclavas and a ski mask, construction outfit and yellow jacket, and a wearable headband with hair. Footsteps, dust effects, and audio on sprint and prone migration. Particle effects that kick up dust on each footstep. Voice audio grunt when initiating sprint or prone. First person depth of field. In lieu of the new and enhanced systems for the player, depth of field has been reintroduced in a much cleaner state than the legacy build. Ragdoll I know you don't. Ragdoll on fall/damage from different heights. The character will have different sound effects and damage amounts dependent on how high of a fall.
Well, we're trying to scale down a mountain. Drop a little too far. Just start ragdolling down the mountain instead.
That sounds like a blast. Character will...
You suddenly see the red blob flying down the mountain.
Yeah, just right by the other. That, or it just hits the other as well. Character will enter ragdoll mode with the ability to get back up. Falling damage will apply to both characters' legs when falling from heights. The legacy build, if you fell too far of a height, you would immediately die. So that's not going to happen. Cool. Dismemberment bleeding. So yeah, being dismembered does not mean you die.
You can just casually be dismembered.
Yeah. From what I understand, you can be dismembered and you would have to get some fucking good help. I think actually there was a thing in one of the trailers where you actually had to pick up the limb that they'd lost to take with them.
Yeah, I was going to say, I just need to like pick up my arm that just got ripped off and walk over to you and be like, hey man, I need a favor.
No, I think you'd have to pick it up and pretty much get the fuck out, get to a doctor, and get him to reattach it.
I should have known you weren't good enough.
Of course I'm not good enough. Unless, I suppose, considering it's a jobs part as well, could I become a doctor and be able to do that on the field? It'd take like 2 minutes.
You can't ride with a giant stapler.
Oh, yeah. Dismemberment bleeding, working on the network with the legacy blood effects. Network synchronization, player getting up from ragdoll from falling or explosion blast that do not kill the character, combat/firing in the next section. Explosion blast, you say? So you're saying I can throw a grenade or something explosive round a corner and make someone fly out in front of me so that I can just pepper them with bullets?
You set up a trip mine that just launches them whenever they walk past it.
Exactly. Like, this sounds like such a great plan for anyone that wants to, like, ambush someone. V23 helicopter migration. So basically, you just pulled that across the full static object. Helicopter character itself no longer uses skeletal mesh or animation. Propeller rotation is now material, and rotation is calculated based on the calculation of WPO coordinates. Yeah, he's working out. Okay. This guy's impressive. This team is impressive. Just
how big
whoever
is this
works
team?
on it. I don't know, you know. Oh.
What?
It's one man. One man has done all this.
Well then, how long do you think it took him to sit here and write all this?
He said the entire development's taken him like just over 10 years, I'd imagine. So he said 5 to 10 plus years. So he's got to where he is so far.
That's mad.
I have nothing but respect. I really do. Rotor materials. Having performance in mind, logic has been included into materials for objects that should always need to appear rotating, such as vehicle wheels, ceiling fans, or helicopter propellers. The technique is common practice, is much cheaper performance-wise, opposed to manually rotating object transforms in an update/tick function. The material logic is set up to take in different speed and rotations demonstrated by the video below. Starting slow, getting a little faster. There we go. Medium, fast. So yeah, from further away, that's going to look like a typical helicopter blade. Yeah, to be expected. Weapon enhancements. Left-clicking while the weapon is lowered will automatically raise the weapon into aim mode. Perfect, thank you. The amount of games that give you a lower, but then when you left-click doesn't automatically raise, pisses me off. Weapon recoil can now be visually seen over the network. For example, when a character fires a weapon, their arms kick back from the recoil. Oh, so I'm actually going to be able to see that on your character, Will.
Can't see what that looks like when we just hold left click and don't actually like find the recoil.
Yeah. Just stood there with a fucking RPG, just fucking firing, just see the other character's arms just fly.
I'd love to see a game that if you like jumped and then shot an RPG, it just like propels you.
Picking up and equipping weapons to hand, fixed critical bugs where other client/server could highlight and take see/take entities off of another character's body, ragdoll/def/visual effects/performance enhancements from old build, tracer hit placement and damage dealing, def and effects. Silence weapons no longer have a muzzle flash/light when firing. Silence weapons now have muzzle smoke particles when firing. RPG fire/explosion/ragdoll networked. I just want that bit. I just want to see a full video of that. Weapon/bullet drop migration networking. Bullet drop for weapons now exists in the new build and functions over the network. The legacy build introduced bullet drop at a very crude state. It worked, but not reliably. The core logic for the bullet drop has been migrated and improved from the legacy build. Okay, yeah. So logical bullet drop expects how you're gonna be, pretty much. Bullets are not physical objects. There are no physics calculations in use. A predictive line traced is used to calculate bullet drop. This is more practical and efficient than high-speed physics projectiles, especially in terms of network and bandwidth. Future steps: wind to affect bullet drop. That's going to make sniping a nightmare.
Yep.
Ability to set sight elevation for all weapons, not just for the computerized sniper scope. That's gonna be brutal for people who are at distance. I suppose then, yeah, like I mentioned earlier, having the variety of weapons is good, but making it so that they're stronger in some places than others is gonna be how it's gonna go.
Yep.
Weapons audio. He's done a lot of work on that. I'm not going into all the audio. I'm not a massive audio guy, but yeah. Weapon mounts and mods. Currently, all weapon attachments are static, meaning it is not yet possible to customize, add/remove mounts. Attachments will remain on a weapon as they are found. Dynamic weapon mounts. Being able to add/remove in real time is likely to be added in the future. He is aiming for that then.
Leave my weapon mid-combat.
Yeah, this area of development is just not high enough of a priority to pursue at this time. Makes sense.
No, that's fair.
Scope Mark II, this is a Mark II version of the long-range scope of our three total scope mounts. Mark I, Mark II, Mark III. Yeah, that's fair. Demolition charge.
Rory's going to have fun with those and probably blow me up a lot of times.
Yep.
There go my legs.
Yep.
Can you get those for me?
No. Pick them up yourself. Night vision and IR goggles have been implemented. Yeah, it's about how night vision always looks. Network foliage interaction. There goes Will running into the trees. Foliage interaction now works across the network. This means when any character now walks through grass or bushes, they will bend and move around them, even in a multiplayer game. Most multiplayer games don't do this. This is a good thing. That means if someone's hiding in a fucking forest, we can see the bastard moving the bushes.
That's also confirming that, you're going to be able to play this on your own.
Oh yeah, there's a offline version, there's a offline with friends, and then there's multiplayer.
Lovely.
It's your choice how you want to play it, sort of thing, which I love the sound of that.
Absolutely.
This has been recorded as a highlight as it took several hours and tricky to get working right. Fixed critical bug where the foliage detection also was breaking lighting. Explosion decals. Added black explosion decals for aftermath of claymores, artillery, etc. Basic, but it does the bloody job.
And it's just more details.
Yeah.
And makes everything look a lot nicer rather than just this one static sort of playground, I guess.
Exactly. New corporations. From time to time, new corporations are added to the stock market, and their name and logo is briefly showcased within the devlogs. Currently, the number of companies is around 50, publicly listed and tradable companies on the Centauri Exchange, where their shares are able to be bought and sold. 3 new science and technology companies have been added to the database Centauri Exchange, each with their own unique names and logos, such as the example below. Engate, I quite like that. I like the sound of that. Stumbling. This may be an odd one, but alas, stumbling has made it as a highlight update. That adds towards the overarching design goals / themes of Beta Decay. Beta Decay is designed to have a slower, sluggish and weighty feel. Stumbling is a very personal preference of mine, and it has a significant impact on the pace of the game and movement overall. Stumbling is a very impactful design consideration on the game's pace, player skill of awareness, similar to scouting for mines / claymores.
Wonderful. We're going to be walking around and suddenly hear a click.
Oh yeah, best time in the world.
And then a red blob flying through the air.
The red blobs flying through the air is just the best.
I look forward to it.
Same. A few design considerations that have been implemented with the above in mind. There is significant stamina reduction from sprinting. When sprinting and colliding with a wall, certain objects or other characters, the player has a chance to stumble, where the character will play a tripping / stumbling animation and movement is significantly slowed. To be fair,
Perfect. So I'll just run face first into a wall.
we get to see it.
Oh.
Oh yeah, so just a very basic stumble. It's logical. Yeah.
So yeah, you can't just go sprinting upstairs, you know, you're not this
Yeah.
mad athlete with fucking 80 kilos of gear on, you're just sprinting upstairs 3 at a time.
Not just that. Have you ever seen anyone that sprinted upstairs perfectly and landed every foot placement?
We routinely mess it up.
Yeah, it's bad. You may have personal experience in this. Much of the strata, the planet's topside environment, is littered with traps. For example, claymores. Prevents too much sprinting and increases player awareness. So many games...
Oh man, we're going to die so many times at the start.
We are. So many games do such a great job at providing beautiful and memorable environments. The artists pour so much time and effort into making the environments detailed and worthwhile to pause and look at. So much is overlooked and skipped as players sprint through an area. It's a logical reason.
This game, clearly from the design, there's not going to be like this beautiful scenery for you to look at. Instead, so memories you're going to make instead are going to be like, oh hey, remember this time that you stepped on a landmine, killed us both?
Yeah, but on top of that, it might not have the best graphical look because it's obviously definitely going to be more dulled colours. But what it is going to have is some amazing world building. Yeah. Everything's designed by him, by hand.
Everything's designed to blow you up.
Yeah, even better. So we'll just get on to this last bit. Risks and challenges. The holidays are coming to an end. This month's challenge was ensuring there was enough time dedicated to dish out some content, but I think we got there. Development remains steady, progressive, and exciting. I appreciate you all, and I can see how excited you all are. I share the same excitement as each and every of the features progresses closer to fruition. I'm not going to go through that bit, but closing notes. You made it to the end, right on. Thank you for taking the time to read. I hope this information may be helpful. The game has come such a long way and continues to progress. I appreciate all of you who have been sticking with me out there. Sticking out here with me. The waiting game can be rough, but everything needs to be taken one step at a time. Hopefully
we're still waiting for Elder Scrolls 6.
Yeah, don't worry about it, man. Still less time.
We're used to it.
Hopefully there was a bit of a vibe and experience grooming through all this. Something positive that we're able to share together. I hope you all have a great holiday and go into 2026. Take utmost care, with the utmost sincerity, take care and spread the love. Take care all, Cray. End. Okay, now the end. Dude, stop. Are you still reading? Peace out. I love this guy. Just the amount of work he's clearly doing.
That's insane, man, that he's doing it all on his own.
By the way, that just took us an hour and 10 minutes to cover.
Yeah.
So
wrap up of Project Red and then
Yeah, that's the best we can do here. So, CD Projekt Red is selling to one of the co-founders. This is not CD Projekt Red completely getting rid of it and cutting ties. They're still good friends. They're still working together in part. What it is pretty much CD Projekt Red are currently the owner, and they are currently having to basically dedicate resources that they don't have to working on GOG. This way, they'd be able to give it to someone who knows what GOG means, knows what GOG needs, and be able to dedicatedly work on it separate to CD Projekt Red. That's effectively what's happening. That's all I've got. That's all I've got. But that's the quickest I can do that. But anyways.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's that. So, Will, what was your thoughts this week on what we covered?
I'm sick of having to wait for all the good things.
I know what you mean. Honestly, that's kind of all I ever think we are doing lately. Just waiting and waiting and waiting for good things.
Yeah.
But you know what? The guy's working on it and he's making one hell of a job out of it. I'm really excited to see when this 2026 update releases. I'm sure we will cover the 2026 trailer when it drops. I will.
Yeah, definitely gonna have to be keeping our eye out for it.
Oh, definitely. I'm also going to see if I can possibly get into a playtest or something. I would be very interested.
That would be pretty cool.
Yes, I would be extremely interested. I wouldn't expect it to be anything perfect, anything amazing, but at the end of the day, it'd be fun, and it'd be nice to test this out, because bloody hell, this is amazing. As I said, one guy working so hard with a couple of people that are probably assisting or giving like a hand here or there. That's what I'd imagine it is. I'm part of the Discord server, and I can see a lot of like people saying, "Yeah, we can work with this. Yeah, we can help with that." There is actually a bit of a discussion going on with modding. They're actually just discussing it now in the chat, so I'll quickly, briefly just cover this. With the roadmap finally becoming available, it is now more clear to the general player base about the content scope of this game, what is going to be in both early access, throughout early access, and lastly post-release. Of course, not everybody is going to see Beta Decay as a complete game in their eyes, and it's entirely possible people will create mod kits or toolkits, especially as it's a standalone sandbox game, on their own regardless of crazed involvement or not, to mod the game in their own favour, appealing to themselves or other people, solving quality of life issues, adding entirely new systems, etc. Beta Decay is on the line of a sandbox RPG, a game about doing what you want to do, much in the same vein of Project Zomboid and various other similar genres, games in turn, which happens to be a genre that is relatively popular in the video game modding scene. So what is it you people would like to add to try and modding to? Yeah. So yeah, people are basically saying it's highly likely. So
people will find a way either way.
That's what he's basically just said. It's just seeming like that, yeah. There's questions already though in here. That's just there like, count till early access is out. I want to see.
Yeah, almost 26,000 fucking comments on that.
Yeah,
by the way.
Yeah. So you've joined the Discord as well, have you?
Yeah. Oh, Jesus Christ, though.
Yeah, but it's nice to see that we are going to be able to see updates and things. As I said, I'll see what's going on.
That's actually just people just putting the number in. There's no discussion going on there.
Oh, I know.
I didn't even realize.
No, they're just counting. They're just counting.
Oh my god.
But yeah, it's insane. I'm excited for more. It's probably one of the few games I'm actually excited in. Thank you very much, Bethesda, for ruining my expectations. Microsoft.
I think the guy has since left the Discord or something. He originally made this post because you can't actually post in it because you don't share the server with the recipient.
What, the original guy?
For the count early access is out.
No, he's still in the server.
It tells me I'm not allowed to post it because I'm not friends or sharing a mutual server.
One moment. Yeah, I just sent one.
Are you sure?
Yeah. You sure it'll be right at the bottom?
I don't see it.
Well, it will take like 5 minutes for it to send. Slow mode's enabled.
I saw that it said you were typing.
Yeah, slow mode's enabled, so it takes like 5 minutes to send.
No, that just means you can only send a message every X amount of time. That doesn't mean your message takes a while to go through. Yeah, I see you type. I see it says you're typing again, but I don't see
Ooh.
your message.
Yeah, no, I've got the same error as you. That's weird.
Yeah.
Anyway, sir, do you have anything else you would like to say about Beta Decay before we end the episode then?
Just keep your eyes on him, man. Not just you, anyone who has interest. The guy is putting in serious work.
Oh, yeah. For a one-man group, that's just...
A one-man army.
Yeah. Yeah, that is what it is. That's just what it is. But there's nothing else to it. But anyways, with that all said, thank you all very much for watching. If you have enjoyed, feel free to like, follow, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. I did forget to say it at the beginning of the episode, as did you, Will. So we'll just
I don't have memories.
Oh, yeah. So it's the one that originally brought it up. So I will just mention it now. We do stream every Sunday between 12 and 1 is the usual starting time, GMT. But yeah, if you ever want to drop by, ask questions, discuss topics, we're more than happy to involve that during one of our episodes. So feel free to do so. Other than that, thank you all very much for watching, and we will see you all next time.
Bye for now, guys. See you next week.